Um, in another part of my life, I have a contract from the US NRC's Office of Research in which I'm assisting them in some regulatory developments that are totally unrelated to Diablo Canyon. They're just completely unrelated. They have to do with regulations for the new advanced reactors, which Diablo Canyon is not. But in the course of that, I've been doing some work for them for quite a while. And I am really concerned that the executive orders could have an impact on regulation in Diablo Canyon. And the reason is that one of the main, without going into details, one of the main things, and it says it right in plain English in the executive orders, one of the main thrusts is to realign their resources by moving resources from this part of the agency to this part, and from this part to this part, and to eliminate this and to enhance that. And I'm very much concerned that this could cause a decrease in the effectiveness of the NRC's ability to regulate plants, operating plants like this. Okay? And the concern is not a short-term one. I'm not worried about a concern in the next few months or the next year. But I'm really, really, really painfully concerned about the effect on the NRC's long-term ability to regulate effectively, and I'll explain why. Because the inspectors don't just come to the plant and look around. By the way, there are resident inspectors, and there are inspectors that come from afar, from the region in Texas and also from headquarters. And also, the regulations require the plant to submit all sorts of technical stuff, some of it monthly, some of it quarterly, and some of it annually. Highly technical stuff that has to be reviewed by the NRC staff to assure that you can finish that sentence about what they assure. And the staff's ability to perform that work is excellent today. They've got an excellent staff, technically very well qualified, extremely motivated, and doing the nation's work. Good for them. But they're doing the nation's work using knowledge and measurement methods and analysis methods and tools that are developed by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission's Office of Research that enable them to do that work. The Office of Research has, over the years, developed inspection methods. They've developed instruments. They've developed analysis methods. When a submittal is made, they've developed the methods whereby the staff analyzes that submittal for its acceptability. Okay? Furthermore, when regulations need to be changed, as they do from time to time because technology changes, the Office of Research develops the technical basis for those regulations so that they're technically sound. And I'm telling you that I'm afraid that 2 months from now, somebody's going to abolish the Office of Research at the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Just as they've tried to, they've cut NSF in half, and they've already, just last week, cut the Office of R&D at EPA in half, and with the promise to cut the other half next year. And if there is no Office of Research at the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, then a few years from now, the tools available by the staff will be out of date and no new ones will have been developed. Okay? So that's a concern that I have. I have less concern about the quality of the staff. I mean, there's a real concern there because of morale and all that stuff, but I'm concerned about the technical tools that they use. Okay? I just want to put that on the record. So for me, continuing in this role will involve, in part, watching to see whether or not that diminution of their capabilities is actually realized over the next period or not. I don't know. Hope it isn't. Nobody can know. But it's something to watch. Because if it happens, it means that our regulatory watchdog, as motivated as they might be, might ultimately end up being out of date or with less skill, less of what they need than before. Okay? And I'll just leave you with one last sentence. I was once the director of the Office of Research at NRC. So I have some knowledge about it that's very, very special. In the history of the 50 years of the agency, there's only been a half a dozen directors, and I was one of them. So that concern is deeply, deeply felt, and I am really, really